I've spent the last 4 years working exclusively with trades businesses, builders, plumbers, roofers, landscapers, and every time someone is struggling, it always comes down to the same problem. It's not a skills problem, it's not that the pricing is off, it's not that the work they're doing is bad, it's always a leads problem. It's that they've got no consistent way of getting new work in through the door. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through every method I use for my clients. And depending on where your business is at right now, I'll tell you exactly which one you should start with today to start getting more work in. So my business uses 5 methods. Some are free, some cost money, some take months, some take weeks. But before any of these, there is a foundation that needs to be in place. Otherwise, you're just throwing money down the drain. And I'm going to show you exactly what that is now. So this is a leaky bucket. And if you don't have a solid website and Google business profile set up, this is exactly what you're doing every time you try to market your business. You're pouring water into something that's full of holes. So let's fix the bucket first, right? I mean, think about your own behavior. When a mate recommends a restaurant, what do? You Google it, right? You look at photos, you look at reviews, and your customers do the exact same thing with you, even if they come in through word of mouth. And a percentage of them, when they find nothing, when they look you up, will quietly just move on to someone else who looks more established online. And this isn't about having a flashy website, it's about looking like a legitimate business when someone Googles you. So you want someone to find a proper site, they see your work, they can connect with you, done, right? A Google business profile is completely free and it's one of the most powerful tools a local trades business has. When someone searches roofer near me, that's where you want to show up. If you do nothing else after watching this video, set up or claim your GBP today. It literally takes 5 minutes and it is a well worthwhile investment of your time. Now, in terms of the website, this really doesn't have to cost you much. It does not need to cost you a few grand. It just needs to exist, okay? It needs to do its job, which is just to convert a viewer into an inquiry. It needs to be simple and just have a form where a customer can get in touch. You don't need to spend loads and loads on this. But without these two things, every bit of marketing you do is harder than it needs to be, because ads or whatever the hell you do, they send people somewhere. And if that somewhere looks shit, you've wasted your money. So get the foundation right first. So let's talk about the first strategy then. Once you've got your foundation in place, it's something that we call in my business database reactivation. Okay, this is one that I do with every single client, no matter who they are, before we do anything. And it's not because it's the most exciting, it's really not, but it costs nothing, it takes an hour, and it works. Every single business I've ever worked with has had jobs come in from this within a week of doing it, right? It's very powerful, okay? You've been in business for years, right? You've had customers, some of them loved you, some of them have more work to do and just haven't got around to calling anyone yet. Some of them have a friend or a neighbor who's been asking about getting work done. All of these people are sitting in your phone right now. Your WhatsApp, your old messages, your email inbox. This is a gold mine that most trades businesses never go back to, right? And the message you send out to your past clients doesn't have to be complicated. Something like, "Hi, John, it's Julius from Business Nurture. Hope you're well. We've got some availability coming up over the next few weeks and I wanted to reach out to past customers first. If you've got anything you'd like us to take a look at, or if you know anyone who might need us, give me a shout. Happy to come and have a look for free." And that's it. There's no hard sell. There's no special offer. It's just a genuine message from someone that they already trust because they've already worked with you, right? And you should do this before you spend a single penny on advertising, because this is free leads. Some of these guys will turn into jobs immediately within that week, right? Some will keep you in mind. Some will refer you on the spot. Like this is something you need to do before you spend money on marketing. And so once you set up your Google business profile, if there's another thing you happen to take away from this video, it's to do this, because those are the 2 free things you can do yourself. It's not very complicated, and it will get you leads within the week, okay? So that's the first one. Now, once your foundation is sorted and you've done your database reactivation, the first channel I'd almost always recommend, and what we tend to do first for our clients, is Meta. So Facebook and Instagram ads. And the reason is simple. Your customers are already on there, right? Right now, someone who needs a loft extension or a new roof or whatever is scrolling through Facebook. The question is whether they see your ad or your competitors. Meta advertising is predictable in a way that most marketing isn't really, because once you've got a campaign dialed in and the targeting is right and the creative, it works, and what you can do from that point is you can say, if I spend X, I get Y leads, okay? And that's consistent. It's incredibly valuable for a trades business trying to actually plan around its workload, because you know exactly what you're going to get once the campaign starts to work. You spend a certain amount, you get leads back from it. And this is one of the lower cost ways to start paid advertising as well. You can begin with a modest daily budget. We normally start with at least 30 quid a day for our clients. And then we scale up as the results come in, because once it works, you can spend more and get more back. So what makes a good meta ad for a trades business? It's honest, real content, just before and afters. If you can, a short video walking through a job. Look, people on Meta aren't searching for you. They're scrolling, so you've got to do something to stop the scroll. And if you have something that looks real, that tends to work quite well as well. And AI tools have made creating ad content much, much easier. You can use AI to write variations of the ads, come up with headlines, or even create the images for you, right? That doesn't mean you can skip doing it properly. Bad AI output is immediately obvious, anybody can tell. But in the right hands, with someone who knows what they're doing, it speeds things up like to a crazy degree. You can start getting work in very quickly, and you can create this entire thing using AI if you know what you're doing. The honest downside to advertising as a whole, but especially meta ads, is it costs money, right? It needs testing to get it right, which can take a little while. And when you turn it off, this is the big thing, the leads stop coming in. Okay, so you need to keep spending to get leads in. It's a tap, it's not a spring, right? And this is why it works best, honestly, alongside other channels that work over time. And this is what I'm going to get into as well, how you combine them. But this is kind of best suited for businesses that have their website in order, have their Google business profile, they've got a small monthly budget to invest, and they want a consistent flow of new inquiries. This is where I would start. So the next strategy we'll talk about is actually paid ads again, but on Google this time. Google ads are different to Meta in one very important way, and that's intent. Because when someone clicks on your Meta ad, they were scrolling and something caught their eye. When someone clicks on your Google ad, they were literally searching for what you do, and that's a different quality of lead, to be honest. So that's the difference, right? With Meta, they were scrolling, distracted, and your ad interrupted them, but with Google, they were already searching and they're ready to buy straight away. So naturally, the lead intent is much higher. But with this, the cost per lead is much higher as well. And this is a little bit more complex to get right. So this is why I would start with Meta, as it's a bit easier to get working. But when you have the budget for it and you're looking at adding another way of getting work in, Google ads are great, because the lead intent, if you can get it right, someone is already wanting what you have. And if your website is looking good, if things are all in order, then these are the kind of leads that you want. Very high intent here. There's usually a higher urgency and a higher close rate, but like I said, it's a bit more expensive. One thing to note though is new advertiser credit is available, so it reduces the risk of starting out. When you do start out, the offer is £400 once you spend on Google, you get £400 back in credit. So you effectively have £800 to spend in the initial stage, as they want you to get some success with it. Honestly, this works, but it's not the first thing I would suggest a business spends money on, right? My advice would be to get Meta working for you first, or if you've got a bigger budget to play with, then fine. But you need to get your fundamentals in place first. That's absolutely key. Otherwise, all of the leads that you're paying for, they land on somewhere that they don't want to be and they bounce. They go to a competitor. So you don't want to be spending money to give your competitors leads. So if you remember, I was talking about a tap and a spring. Paid ads are the tap, and SEO is the spring, right? So once this is set up, now you're going to be getting leads in over time. It's a slower burn, but it keeps coming, right? You're not paying per click here. So you're not turning a tap on and off. You're building something that belongs to your business, as time goes on. What you need for SEO stands for search engine optimization, okay? This is just when someone looks up, for example, painter near me, SEO, having good SEO is being one of the first ones that come up. And you can see, obviously, there's infinite pages on Google. You could just keep going and going. There's like a whole lot, right? And with bad SEO, you're going to be on page 3, 4 of Google. With good SEO, you're going to be one of the first ones that come up. And you can imagine when someone's got high intent, they're looking for a service, and you're one of the first ones that come up. it's pretty good. It helps. So if you can see here, sponsored, these are people running Google ads. Whereas if we go down, these are people with good SEO who don't have to pay anything. They're literally not paying anything, and yet they're one of the first ones that come up. And why is that? Because over time, they've optimized their business with SEO. Now, this is really simple to set up. It just takes time. So for a local trade, the main levers are going to be number one, your Google business profile. That has to be set up fully. On your website, you're going to want service pages targeting specific searches. So again, if we go with the roofing example, flat roof repair, Dorset, or new roof installation, Bournemouth. You want all of these different pages that cover all of your different services. And you also want location pages. So if you cover multiple areas within a region, you want pages for each of those. You want your reviews on there. And you want to keep on getting reviews on your Google profile. You want to constantly be sending that out to your customers. And what happens is over time, you're going to start to rank higher. But the honest timeline with this is, I would just say, don't expect much for the first 3 months. Months 4 to 6, you start seeing movement, okay? You start getting leads in. 6 months to a year in, if it's done consistently and by someone who actually knows what they're talking about and what they're doing, you're going to be getting consistent free inquiries from Google. And that compounding effect is what makes it valuable long term, right? This takes time, but when you compare it with, for example, the paid ads on Meta, you've got stuff you're paying for immediately and you're getting leads in through the door. And meanwhile, what you can do is you can have your business growing just on the back burner. So you've got the leads coming in on the front end with Meta, and then as time goes on, well, SEO is kicking in. Now you've got organic leads that you're not paying for coming in on Google, right? And this is what's powerful, because now you're well diversified if you're doing these things properly. Honestly, this next one, I put a lot of time into this, but do you know what? I think just for the purposes of this video, you're going to find so much more value on stuff like SEO, Google ads, and Facebook ads, right? With this, I'm going to very briefly touch on it. It's called organic content. And basically what this is when you post to your Facebook and Instagram, right? And you consistently do this, whether that's on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, you're just consistently posting decent content, before and afters, reviews, stuff like this, okay? If you can do this, it's similar to SEO in the sense that over time it's going to give you free leads. It just takes time. The only difference between this and SEO is this is essentially SEO for Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of that, okay? I'm not going to get into this, to be honest. Maybe that's for a different video, but for the purposes of making this as simple as possible, these are what I'd recommend to start out with. And if you can post consistently to your Facebook, do it, because eventually it will pay off, right? If you can post literally 3 times a week, you wait a year, you wait 6 months, and you'll be getting some leads in from that, okay? And if you're working with a marketing company or you're thinking about doing so, you can just ask them for their advice, right? You can ask them specifically what things to post, how to kind of word the posts, how to use AI to just do it all for you, or they could take care of it for you as well, potentially. But this does work. I would just recommend starting with something a bit simpler. All right, guys, here's the useful bit then. Exactly what you should do right now, okay? After watching this video, after having a very brief overview of how you can market your trades business, this is what you should do, okay? You're going to be in one of these 3 categories. You're going to be in number 1, 2, or 3. So let's start with number 1. This is if you've got no online marketing set up yet at all. No website, no Google business profile, nothing, okay? You're just relying on word of mouth. What you should do here to start with is just set up a simple Google business profile. You can do this for free and get a website made. Whether you do this yourself or whether you work with someone who can do it for you and do it to a high standard, you really don't need to be paying much for this at all, okay? You just get it to do its job. You get the Google business profile set up. And in fact, if you work with a website company, they can do this for you too. Once those are set up, okay, and once they work, it's online, it's hosted, then you should do database reactivation, okay? The thing we spoke about at the start, right? The gold mine, your past leads, your past customers, everything, you get in touch with them. The way we do this for our clients is we get a list of all of their past customers, we put it into our software, and we send an email out to all of them at the same time, okay? We have variables, so it can be hi name, and it will put in the customer's name, and it will do that for every single customer. So it sounds a bit more tailored to every customer. We can literally do this in 5 seconds, right? It takes no time and it gets them leads within the week, depending on how big their database is. So I would do this. And even if you don't have a software or an agency to do it for you and to do each of them all at once, even just reaching out to your past contact list, if you've got a list of your customers, you know, if you do this 20 minutes a day for the next couple of weeks, then you will get a job from this. I promise you, it has never failed, right? So that's number one. Number two, okay, now you've got a website, you've got a Google business profile, you're getting some reviews on there, you're starting to cook on gas, but you want more work. The foundation is there. Now you need the tap we were talking about, okay? What I would start with is a simple meta ads campaign, right? I would set a modest budget, start with 30 quid a day, and then you scale with results. Okay, and I would keep the database reactivation going at this stage. You keep doing this until you run through your entire list. And honestly, what I would do is, you can do this yourself, or again, if you're working with an agency, you get in touch with this list regularly, right? You reactivate that database every, 3, 6 months, even a year, okay? But you just constantly get back in touch with them, because there are always people looking for more jobs, people who had a great experience with you and want to refer you. This is a goldmine, and I would keep doing this at this stage too. But in terms of generating new leads, I would start with the cheapest and easiest option, which is meta ads. Okay, and I would advise working with a professional, but if you want to have a crack at doing it yourself, you can probably make it work. Okay, just be aware that it takes time to test things. Okay, and somebody who's done it before will probably have more experience and know what things to test first, how to get the results quickest, but you can make this work and it's the cheapest. So whatever you do, I would likely start with this. And the third one is when you've got your tap, you're running ads, and you want to reduce your reliance on paid spend, okay? So like what I said before with the meta ads, with the Google ads, whatever, when you do that, you are spending to get leads, okay? And if you stop spending, you stop getting leads, which is fine in the initial stages, because you just, that's the stage of business you're in. But as you start to grow and expand and get older, you might want to start to diversify where your leads come in from. Okay, so you're safe. If Meta or Google ads just get too expensive, or something breaks and it stops working, or whatever, now you've got another way of getting leads in, okay? So at this point, you'll have your word of mouth, you'll have your database reactivation, you'll have your meta ads. You've already got a diversified way of getting leads. This is where I would add in SEO or organic content, okay? And this way, you're going to start to slowly build this snowball that over time gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And in the first couple of months, you're not going to see anything really. You might see an inquiry come in. But 3, 4, 5, 6 months down the line, now you're getting consistent inquiries. And a year later, you're getting work literally for free. And it's this massive snowball that's unstoppable at that point. Because, if I go back to this example here, when you have 86 reviews, you are going to rank in your local area. It's going to happen, right? You're just going to show up, because almost nobody pays attention to this stuff. If you have that many reviews, when a customer lands on you, they're going to read through all of these reviews and think, wow, I need to work with these guys, right? And so that is what I would do. This is where I would kind of start with. If you're in 1, you know what to do. 2, 3, just jump in from here, get started. Okay guys, if you've made it this far, then you clearly want to build something real with your business, and I respect that, okay? So what I want to do now is just quickly talk about some of the things we do as a business, and potentially offer you the opportunity to work with us. So if you don't have a website yet, or it just clearly needs an upgrade, if you click the link in the description, the first link, it takes you to a page where you can find out exactly what our websites include and why they work as well as they do for trades businesses. There's no obligation, and it will show you what's possible and whether you're in the right position to get one right now. And if nothing else, honestly, if you go and watch that video, if you put it in a higher speed, it's like 5 minutes, you watch it, you can know exactly what to expect from whatever company you decide to work with in terms of a website, okay? And just remember what we talked about at the start. Even your word of mouth referrals, a lot of them will Google you first, okay? A percentage of people who get recommended to you will look you up, find nothing convincing, and call someone else, right? A proper website and a Google business profile fix that immediately. And everything else you ever do in marketing gets easier because of it. So you can see a return immediately, and then afterwards you can start to build on that base and you can really start to generate a whole lot of leads. But you need to plug the leaky bucket first, all right? So if your website is solid, it already is solid, you've got the Google business profile, that's cool. You're watching this video just to kind of learn a little bit more about how you can generate leads. If you want help with the marketing and your website is already in a good place, what I would say is jump onto that same link, that website, and just hit the WhatsApp button, message us directly, and tell us specifically what you're looking to implement, and we can have a proper conversation about it, whether that's Facebook ads, Google ads, SEO, and potentially organic content, whatever you guys are looking for, we can probably come up with a plan to sort that out. However, start with a website. If you don't have a website, don't worry about the rest of this stuff yet. The website and the Google business profile is the only thing you need. Now, regardless of what you decide to do, go and implement by yourself at least one thing from this video today, okay? Even if it's just the database reactivation or making the Google business profile, go and do one of those things. You can do them yourself. Send 5 messages to past customers this evening. That's free, takes 5 minutes, and it could turn into a job this week, right? With the Google business profile, you know you need that no matter what. Yes, you need a website as well, but you can start with that, okay? Go and take action from watching this video, because now you know a little bit more about marketing specifically for trades. I would advise you to just take action yourself on something. And if you want to work with us, you can do that too. If you found this useful, by the way, please subscribe. We put out content like this specifically for trades and home improvement businesses, and we're just going to keep going deeper on all of these topics and provide more and more value. So see you in the next one.